Name something that is sexier when it's in black.
People. I'm too sexy for this.
Hi everyone, my name is Deanna, creator of Young Black and Frugal, and today I will be doing one of my most highly requested videos. It's 10 tips on how to grow long, healthy, natural hair. So I am finally doing this video for you all. I'm so happy to be doing it for you. And first, I just wanted to give you all a picture. I'll put it right here of what my hair, like how long it used to be and where it is now. So this is it about now, so yeah. And I'm not one of those people whose hair grew overnight. I'm not one of those, it took a year. This definitely took me time. And if you are one of those people, that's great. But some of us, we aren't, and I wanna let you all know that it's still possible for us. It just can take a little more time depending on how fast your hair grows and things like that as well, how much damage you may have that needs to be cut off and things like that. So, but I do not want to take up too much of your time. So let's get right into the video. Let's get into step number one. But before I say that, I just want to let you all know that I have notes that I've taken. So yeah, if you see me looking down, that's because I wrote this all down because I want to make sure that I get these steps for you all. So the first step is a very controversial one, but I am team shampoo. I think you definitely need to shampoo at least once a month. Some people say more, but just being realistic of our hair as Black people, how often we have time to do our hair and things like that. I don't necessarily always have time to do my full routine. But I definitely try to wash my hair at least once a month. I also personally have really bad dandruff. So it's good for me to make sure that my scalp is clean. And that's the main thing of why you need to shampoo your hair. If your scalp is clogged, it's dirty, it can't grow. So I would definitely say, please try to shampoo at least once a month. Some people will say once a week or every 2 weeks, which is what I try to do. But sometimes life just happens. So I definitely try to make sure I'm doing it at least once a month. And it doesn't even have to be a clarifying shampoo. Sometimes I'll just use a very, lightweight shampoo. I have some great like suds free shampoos, and then I use a tea tree deep cleansing shampoo at least every 1 to 2 months in between the times that I do my regular washes. So definitely give it a try. My second tip would be trim your ends every 3 to 4 months. This one was hard for me personally, as I love my inches. I always have been a fan. But if your ends are crappy, if they're just split, it's just gonna keep going up the shaft. There have been times where I literally did not trim my hair for 6 months to a year, and all that growth gone. And it's so disappointing that you did all that work and it's all gone, not because you didn't grow your hair, but because you didn't handle that problem before it got worse. So the splits will just keep going up the shaft, and your hair will be stringy on the ends, will be thin. It won't straighten as well because it's dry and it's dead. So you definitely, even if you don't get it professionally trimmed every 3 to 4 months, which I don't do, I only get my hair professionally done 1 to 2 times a year. But I do like to, do just a little dusting of a trim, trying to, so y'all can see it, like just a little bit every, every 3 to 4 months. Some people say 6 to 8 weeks, which is 2 months, but I like to do 3 to 4 because depending on how fast your hair grows, if you're doing it every 6 to 8 weeks, that may be just about the amount of growth that you're getting. But I will say definitely keep in mind, like if you do have damage that you're trying to cut off, it may be better for you to just do it every 6 to 8 weeks. So like for instance, when I had heat damage, what I would do is I would every month I would cut off like a half an inch, or every 2 months. So as I was growing a half an inch to an inch, that's how much I was cutting off. So it was about the same rate. But now that the damage is gone, I can just let it grow. So, but definitely, shameless plug, check out my hair growth journey video so you all can kind of see that progress of heat damage to growing and things like that. The proof is in the pudding, okay? So let's get into the next step. Number 3 is protective style. I am a big fan of that. Protective styling is honestly what I think helped my hair grow. I got to a point where I just didn't have the energy or the time to do my hair so that it's presentable every day. And so I became a big fan of wigs, and I was just putting my hair up in wigs, keeping it out of my way and just letting it grow. Still trimming those ends, every 3 to 4 months to keep it healthy. But I truly stand by that I think that's what helped grow my hair, because it wasn't brushing up against things, which dries it out. I live in the north, I live in Minnesota and Chicago, so it's cold a lot of times. So my hair wasn't drying out, it wasn't rubbing up against things like obviously it is right now. So that definitely helped my hair grow. So I would do that if there's one thing for sure that helped me. But going into that, I want to make sure that everyone knows that they need to keep their hair moisturized and still take care of their hair while it's in a protective style. That's why a lot of people's hair isn't growing. That's why a lot of people aren't seeing growth and retention once they they take their protective styles out. You can't just do your hair in a protective style and not touch it for 2 and 3 months. We're Black. Our hair naturally is drier, and we need to moisturize it and keep it healthy even in the protective style. But that's why I love wigs, because I can always take my wig off and moisturize my hair. So that's another thing. I would say that the protective styling plus keeping my hair moisturized in it is what I would do. So I actually have a short here on YouTube. I will link it in the video as well, that you can see how I do my keep my hair moisturized in the protective styles. It's literally 1 minute. It'll save your life, and it makes a big difference on how I keep my hair moisturized. And also too, I can't cornrow. I'm part of that community, and I'm proud, period. But I was able to flat twist my hair and still keep it flat and wear my wigs look flawless. And also it's easier to just take a twist-a-loose, even if it's just like from here down, and keep it moisturized. It'll change the game, I promise you that. Hey y'all, sorry about that dog. Don't know where they came from, but let's get back into it. So the next step, this is another controversial one. Y'all aren't gonna wanna hear it. But number 4 is little to no heat. It will make a difference. Our hair wants to be how it is. So you have to stop putting as much heat on it, because that's another thing that's drying it out. I know it's silk press season right now. Yes. I'm very aware, but I only put heat on my hair in once to twice a year. I used to do it for my birthday. My birthday is in May. It's hot. So I stopped doing it because it was literally a waste of time. I would straighten my hair and then it would be hot, and then my hair would start to, revert and things like that. So I had to stop doing that. So if you're doing your hair in a space that's requiring you to put even more and more heat on your hair, it's damaging your hair, it's drying it out, and either two things are gonna happen. You're gonna lose your curl pattern if you aren't relaxed or something like that. And also too, it may start to just break off because it's dry. So please, 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 please try to use less heat. Start off by just doing 3 months. And even too, if your hair is straightened right now, I try to put as little heat on my hair as possible. I am, working remote most days, so the one day that I may touch up is the day after going to work, and that's it. So, try to reduce it, wrap your hair. I can do a video on that, on how to, you know, keep your hair straight and things like that, and so the style lasts. But definitely try to space it out. So try 3 months, then try 6 months, then try a year. I promise you it's not as like difficult as you think once you get used to it. But also too, like, try wigs, or, you know, like a protective style, like get braids or something. Like, try something new so you're feeling like you're getting like a different style. You're not just doing the same thing over and over. But I promise you, like, your hair will be healthier and happier because of that. So yeah. Next one is keep your hair moisturized, like I said earlier. So your hair, the longest parts are the oldest and driest. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your hair moisturized. If your hair is not moisturized, it will not, well, it will grow. I want to make that very clear. Your hair is always growing. If your hair is not growing, you wouldn't have any hair on your head. Never forget that. But what I will say is you won't retain any length, because as your hair is growing from the top, it's going to break off from the bottom. So make sure that your hair is moisturized. Some people believe in the lock method. I just like to, my method changes depending on the time of the year. So like in the winter time, I'll use water, step 1. That's the only thing that's really moisture. So, or and also to make sure like your product has water as the first or second ingredient. But in the winter time, water, step 1. I'll use a moisturizing product, and then I want to use something heavier like a shea butter or something that will hold the moisture in a little longer. And then I'll put an oil on top. So, but in the summertime, where it's more moisture in the air and, you know, my curls is truly popping, I can wash and go or whatever, I may just use like water and a moisturizing product, or maybe some gel if I know it's humid out. But consistently doing your hair, like if your hair feels dry, it's dry. Put a little water in it, you know, something to make sure that your hair is staying moisturized. So yeah, if you all want, you know, videos on that, examples, let me know. I can do that as well. And then the next one is find products that work for your hair. This may be something that influencers may not like to hear. And I get it that it's about like deals and stuff like that as well, but every product that your fave influencer uses doesn't necessarily mean that it'll work for you. Everyone's hair is different. Think of your hair as like a snowflake. Everyone's hair is a different snowflake. Let's be honest. Some of us have different hair textures within our one head of hair. So just because your fave influencer uses it, even if they have, you know, a similar curl pattern as you, doesn't mean it'll work on your hair, because your hair may be color treated, or you may have heat damage, or you may have a different level of porosity of hair. So there are just a lot of things that can go into it. And also too, again, we're all different people with different heads of hair. Your hair doesn't have to like the same thing that somebody else does. Definitely, if you're lost, you don't know what you should use, you can always take advice. But if the product isn't working, the product isn't working. Try something else, okay? So that's what I would say. Like, you have to listen to your hair. The moment I started listening to my hair and stopped using what someone else was using, because it was working on them instead of finding what works for me, that's when I started to really see like the growth in my hair and the health of my hair change, because I was using what worked for my hair, what my hair likes. And also too, there are some times when your hair will be like, I'm not liking this anymore. It's not giving. And unfortunately, you have to listen. So I like to try to keep to like a couple different products just in hand, because like I said, like at certain times a year, depending on the weather, my hair needs different products. So listen to your hair and what it needs. And unfortunately, that may change, but you just gotta listen if you really want to see that growth and retention. So, okay, next one is low tension and manipulation hairstyles. So when I do wigs, because I can literally just flat twist. My hair is not in all these different styles all over. And also too, like I said, I can't cornroll or nothing. So it's not like these styles are tight on my hair. If your hairstyle hurts if it's giving you migraines, if it's giving you bumps and all of that, and your hair's coming out, that's not low manipulation. That's stressing you laying your hair out. Let that go. So I do flat twists or cornrows. My grandma does it for me, for free. But do those because they're not a lot of manipulation, and you can keep them for a while. You can keep them for 6 to 8 weeks if you want, and yeah, that's what's going to help your hair grow. And I also say this too because a lot of people, and I don't know if you all have seen the videos, but they're all over YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, that there are people who are wearing buns or ponytails, and they're putting them in the same spot, and they're making them super slick and super tight, and their hair is either coming out or is breaking off. And that's the thing too, that if your hair has a big chunk missing in the middle, you can't have your hair like this in the back. Like, it's cute right now, but if your hair looked like this in the back, where it's just all that missing, no hairstylist gonna let you walk out like that. No one who cares about you is gonna let you walk out like that. So you don't have to cut it off. All that had to go. So you be like this. So that's why, like, it's important to like do stuff that doesn't, separate your hair a lot and mess with it and manipulate it a lot, because your hair will start to break and thin. And I'll say that I'm one of those people. My hair is not very thick. This is all I have. I have pulled all my hair to the front so that my hair can look full. And so a lot of times when I do hairstyles, even when natural, I will separate and pull it to the front. And it's created, it used to create thinning for me. And so while it's straight right now, it's not like bad, but like when my hair is natural, how it is majority of the time, I'll make sure that I'm not doing a split right down the middle, because it created tension, it was thinning. It's almost like your hair is listening to you, like, oh, you clearly want this part down the middle, so let me help you with that. And that it's very much giving, be careful what you ask for. So keep that in mind. Don't always do the same parts and things like that, because your hair will start to thin and things like that. The next one is hair growth oil, 2 to 3 times a week. I know some people don't believe in that. It works for me. My scalp gets really dry, and I think it also helps with the strength of the new hair that's growing out of my head. So I definitely believe in using hair growth oils. I do not think that it's gonna change you from growing, like half an inch a month to like 2 inches in a month. I don't believe those hypes. I don't believe those stories, but I do think that it helps get those nutrients into the hair right as it's growing out. And that helps with that length retention. So, your hair starts from your scalp, and you want that hair to stay healthy, because this hair is old and it's giving all she's got, but it can only give for so long. Like, this is eventually gonna have to go, in theory, to keep the rest of this healthy. So you wanna make sure that the new stuff is healthy, so that you don't have to, trim as much all the time and things like that. So definitely, if you believe in hair growth oils, I would definitely incorporate that consistently, but don't expect it to like make your hair grow like the little Barbie doll, you push the button. Like, it's not gonna do that, but it will help with the health of your hair. The next one is give your hair extra protection in the winter. So while it is silk press season right now, I like to use use bonnets on my head. It's cold, extremely cold. So I'll put, a bonnet on, and then my hat, tuck my hair inside. And then my hair isn't rubbing up against my coat, and wool, things like that. That dries out your hair and splits your ends. So definitely do that, or get satin lined hats, which I have some of those as well. So you wanna make sure that you're keeping your hair protected. Definitely try to keep your hair and protect the styles and buns and things like that in the winter, because your hair is already gonna dry out just from the weather alone, especially if you live in a cold climate. If you live in a warmer climate, you may be able to get away with this a little more, but I think it always is beneficial if you try to keep your hair from rubbing up against your clothes as much as possible. I mean, if you want to share, you know, your length and all that, do that. But that's one of my favorite things about being natural too, is while shrinkage can be really annoying, because I know as soon as I wash this, somebody's gonna say, oh, you cut your hair. No, I didn't. I washed it. But it helps keep like my hair, especially the oldest parts of my hair, from rubbing up against my clothes, which is protecting it. So next time you get mad at your shrinkage, remember, that's God's way of protecting you. He's protecting your hair. He's protecting your hair from the elements. So keep that in mind. So yeah, definitely try to protect your hair as much as you can. And then the last but certainly not least is satin everything. Satin everywhere you go. My pillowcases, satin. My bonnet, satin. My hat, satin. If your hair is gonna rub up against something, let it rub up against satin as much as possible. So I'll be a bonnet queen all day. I said that at the beginning of quarantine, y'all. I was like, I think my hair was like right here at the beginning of quarantine. I was like, I'm gonna grow my hair out. If I'm gonna be in the house, I'm having this bonnet. And guess what? I did. So don't let them play you about your bonnets and things like that, like protective style. And when that's right, even in your protective style, if your protective style is something like your hair will be exposed, you know, such as, you know, like you're taking your wig off, or like, let's say you have, you know, some type of braids, box braids or passion twist, whatever, still wear something on your head. And also that helps keep your style longer. So definitely do that. So yeah, those are my tips. I want to also say again, I want to reiterate that you have to be patient. Your hair is not going to grow overnight. I've always been someone who's been considered to have long hair. But looking back now, my hair wasn't that long. Like the longest my hair was like right here. And so I had to really take time and learn how to do my hair. Like, what do I need to do? What am I missing? What am I messing up? And so once I, you know, put these tips into practice, that's how I got this length. And so I'm hoping that it'll just continue to grow now that I figured it out. But also too, like I said, you have to listen to your hair. If something's not working anymore, then you have to stop. Like, I already know that there may be a point where my hair goes, I'm tired of you dyeing me. I'm tired of the color. It's me or the color. So I may have to just, you know, stop wearing color and then just wear colored wigs. You just have to do what's best and healthy for your hair. So, you know, take these tips in mind. I encourage you to try them. Consistency is also key. And remember that it's just as important what comes out of the top that's on the bottom. So take care of your ends. They're the oldest part of your hair. And that's what the moisture is. So if you take these practices into your everyday life and have consistency, I assure you, you will start to see growth. If you all have any questions about anything that I said, or like want to see any other routines that I do for my hair, just let me know and I'll definitely, you know, try to get those videos out to you all. So also too, just remember to stay Black, blessed, and beautiful. And if you have any suggestions about like videos I should do, let me know. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also follow me on Instagram or TikTok. And you can see some like shorter videos as well on some of the hair tips. And I also do videos on like Black-owned businesses you can support and travel. So definitely support. Thank you all for watching, and I really, really hope that this video was helpful for you. And if you have some cool tips that you would like to share in the comments, don't hesitate to do that as well. Okay, you'll have a great one. Bye.